Welcome to Unbiased. I'll be your humble host, Will. I'm back at you with another video. Before I get into this video, I want to say thank you for everybody who's been watching my videos and showing me some support. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna keep grinding, keep growing. So please like, share, subscribe, as always, and please comment. So let's get into this video. This video is about the Alabama football coach, Kalen Deboer. He just signed a new contract. It was worth, I know it was a 7-year deal. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 7-year deal, $87.5 million is what they're paying them, and it's 12.5 million per year. Let's see. Oh yeah, then if Alabama fires him anytime soon, he's gonna get 90% of that contract with no offset requirement. And since he been here for the last 2 year seasons, he went 20-8 and 12-4 in the ACC. All right, so this is my opinion. This is unbiased. I'm gonna give you a straight shooter. Like Stephen A. say, he's really not a straight shooter all the time. But I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'm a diehard Alabama fan. You see my hat. I'm a Raider fan as well. But I'm born and raised in Birmingham, so we go hard for Alabama and for UAB. I go to UAB games as well, and I plan on going to an Alabama game again this year. Um, I don't think he deserved the contract. I'm just gonna be honest. He don't deserve the contract. I understand Alabama went to the SEC championship game last year, got dog stuck literally by the Georgia Bulldogs. But um, bro, this we basically before going into this season, I kind of had him a little bit on the hot seat to be honest with you. And I understood that he was looking at other jobs because he was hearing the rumors, he seen the fans, he seen fans coming talking about him online and things of that nature. And I know he heard all that. That's why he was looking at other jobs. Penn State came open. He was rumors in that job. I think rumors in the Michigan job. He was trying to throw his name out there to see that, testing the waters that he can leave. And Alabama fans didn't care. We really didn't care if you left or not. And I seen some people on ESPN were like, well, they gave him that job because he's a good coach. Correct. He is a good coach. I can't take that from him. He's a good coach. But in the SEC, we want him to be great. We just had a great coach in Nick Saban. He was great. He probably was, I ain't gonna say probably, he is the greatest of all time, especially in my era. You know what I'm saying? I came after Bear Bryant. I already heard about Bear Bryant when I was growing up, but I didn't see it, growing up. Because I'm a 86 baby. I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So for as my opinion and what I know about football, Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach I ever seen. And for you to come behind that, you're not matching the expectations. You kind of went down. And everybody knows it. Everybody sees. All the Alabama fans seeing this. We don't have no running game. And it look like this season, I'm praying that we have a run game. I like Hill, but we need a run game. And I know it just ain't on the running backs. It's on the offensive line as well. And it's on the passing game. Receivers like Ryan Williams got to step up and things of that nature. But man, we're falling off. Everybody ain't scared of Alabama anymore. When Nick was coaching, people were scared to see Alabama on their schedule. They didn't like some of them would just go on penciling in and say, "Oh, that's a loss. We're gonna lose to them, no matter if they're playing at Bama or Bama coming to them. They didn't, they just gonna pencil in as a loss. Nah, they ain't looking at no law. They like we can get Bama. That's what other teams are saying and coaches are saying. But at the same time, I don't think he deserved that type of contract. He had to prove to me that he's a good coach this year. That's what I was looking at. This is just a be his third year. I had to go back and look and see what his original contract was. And I'm pretty sure it had to be at least a 5-year deal. I know they didn't make him sign no 3-year deal or 2-year deal. So they just did this to try to hold the man, to keep him in. But the fans didn't really care about that. We want to see a good product on the field. We want to see some domination like we used to seeing. And we're not getting that. not Alabama football like we usually seeing. And the contract just is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. I don't get it. I really don't. Cause to be honest with you, what I was about to say about the ESPN guy, he was like, well, he's a good coach. He's a bit on top of that. He said, if Alabama would have let that guy go, who else Alabama going to get? One, Alabama could have got Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was waiting for the Alabama job to open before he even took the LSU job. That's one. And I think Lane Kiffin is better than Kellen DeBoer because look what he has done at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is, it's a good program too. I salute them people. And I'm sorry for how that whole debacle, came out for those people because Ole Miss, they love their school and they go hard for the Rebs too. But um, Lane would have left Ole Miss and went to Alabama, no doubt about it. But Alabama job did come open, so that's why he went to LSU. In my opinion, I think Lane could have just stayed at Ole Miss, and he would have did better. Because now he ain't put himself in a position where, if he don't win at LSU, they're gonna get rid of him. Now I don't think he would never nobody would have got rid of him at Ole Miss. He just stayed there. If they never would have won a national championship, and they just continue being 9, 10, 11 win team, Ole Miss would have took that and kept that. But you can't do that at LSU, or you definitely can't do that at Alabama. You got to win. You got to win championships at these schools. This is what it's all about. And the Florida job is like that. The Tennessee job is like that. Georgia's like that. You got to win. Oklahoma, Texas, Texas A&M. These schools want win championships. They don't want just being relevant. Being relevant is not enough for these schools. You can be relevant at Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, maybe. Let me see what Missouri. Yeah, Auburn don't even want to be relevant. Auburn want to win championships. They'll get your ass up out of there if you ain't winning. And that's just how these schools are. So, like I said, Kalen Deboer, he got a good agent or something. They was able to get what they want out of the deal. But Alabama fans still gonna talk. We're gonna talk their itch. If they ain't doing what they supposed to do, as a coaching staff, when we send the product on the field, folks gonna go off. They really are. They gonna go off. And I don't think I said nothing about the schedule on the other videos I did about college football, especially about Bama. And I'm gonna go through the schedule right now. We got East Carolina the first game. That's a dub. Right off the bat, that's a dub. But I do want to see, who's gonna be our quarterback is by that time, and how the offense is gonna look, and how the defense is gonna look. Right? We play at Kentucky. That's gonna be our first road game. We should beat Kentucky. I understand Kentucky got a new coach and all that, but we should be able to beat them. Florida State coming to Tuscaloosa, we should beat them. We should have beat them last year, but they was ready for our ass last year, and they put a whipping on us. South Carolina game is right behind that. We play South Carolina in Tuscaloosa. I think South Carolina will be a good football team this year. They coaches on the hot seat. Both South Carolina coaches are on the hot seat. Clemson and South Carolina head football coach is on the hot seat. And so South Carolina, they still got their quarterback. They was able to keep their quarterback intact. A lot of colleges was losing their quarterbacks in the transfer portal this past off season. They was able to keep theirs. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna, they built around him. And like I said, the coach is he's on the hot seat. And he's gonna make something happen. I believe. So we got to be ready for that game. And the last couple of years we played South Carolina, it was close games. So we had Mississippi State. Mississippi State has been improving. We saw that last year; they was improving. They had I think a freshman quarterback that was pretty good. He ended up hurting himself, I think, in this bowl game. I was watching that game, and I think he broke his ankle, if I'm not mistaken. But then they got a new quarterback. But I still think we got more talent than them. We should be able to beat them. But it's loud in Mississippi State for those Cowbells. So that's not going to be just an easy layup game. Then right after that, we got Georgia. That's the biggest game on our schedule. Playing Georgia. Right after that, we got Tennessee. Tennessee lost their quarterback. He finally got about He with the NCAA rules. I think he played 6 years, but he only played one at Tennessee. But he played at other places. They got to replace their quarterback. But you know it's loud in Knoxville as well, and in Neyland Stadium. That's not going to be an easy game as well. We got Texas A&M. Marcel Reed is back for A&M. And then you got LSU. You know we got like 2 weeks off. Well, 1 week off, and then we play at LSU in Baton Rouge and going against Lane Kiffin. You know Lane gonna be ready for that game. You already know how that gonna go. I said this schedule is not easy. We got at Vanderbilt. They don't have Diego Pavia anymore, but they got another high school quarterback that's pretty damn good. He's 5-star. And then we got Chattanooga and Auburn. But that is not an easy schedule at all. So Kalen Deboer, I know you probably happy and satisfied. You got this big money now. You got this contract. They're supposed to sit you in for another 7 years. And you're one of the highest paid coaches in the country and all that. But bro, Alabama fans still not happy, bro. They still looking at you with that eye, with that side eye, like, you know what I'm saying? You better get right. I know the administrators, they do what they want to do, but I'm telling you, if Alabama is not improving this year and we go back, we go down to be 7-5 or something like that, he gonna hear about it. He's gonna hear about it. And you ain't gonna be able to go all around Alabama without somebody coming up on you and saying what's going on with this Alabama football team. You know, you fans, I'm one of them, and one of many. But we will we're gonna point you out. We're gonna talk about you, and that's just the way it is. Because we love football down here in the South. It means something. It means something to us, right? And so let me bypass the Alabama thing. Let me go to another issue that's going on in college football: the 24-team playoff. Uh, we shouldn't do no 24-team playoff. It doesn't make any sense for one. Um, the SEC commissioner Greg Sankey, he doesn't want it, but I understand the White House, which is the Republicans. I heard the Republicans are going in on it because Trump wanted to do something to fix college football, the NIL and the transferring, and now they, doing something about this college football playoff. I wanted 12, you know, they went from 12. Now they were talking about 16. Now they want to skip 16. Let's go to 24. And it's ridiculous because they go to 24 teams. It would not be a conference championship at all. And it doesn't make any sense because you got all these big conferences. You got 4 big conferences right now with all these teams in there, and you ain't going to be able to declare a winner. You declare a winner with these conference championship games. They make a lot of money off these conference championship games. But if you do the 24-team playoff, they're going to have to eliminate it. Because you're going to be playing like an NFL schedule with all these games. You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It don't make any sense. I'm like, at this point, why did y'all create these conferences, these big conferences? If you're gonna go 24 teams, they could have left the conferences where they were. Just have them all regional, like they were before. College football is basically a regional football thing, and the most dominant teams play each other for the national championship. That's what it's supposed to be. But now y'all want to make it like it's the NFL, but it's not the NFL. We got way more teams than the NFL. It doesn't make any sense, man. Like I said, this is gonna be stupid. They're down here in the SEC in the South, we care about the SEC championship. Georgia's won the last couple of years. Even though they got put out the second round the last 2 years, they won the SEC, and we care about that down here. Even though we do care about national championships too, but we are whipping up on each other, which we feel is the biggest and toughest conference in the country. We want to win the conference. That's where we'll have the bigger say-so of our peers, our competitors. But you do the 24 teams, and we're going to get rid of that. And we don't want to see that in the SEC. We don't want to get rid of the conference. But, this shit's stupid, bro. It really doesn't make any sense. It's a big money grab. It seems like everything's about money. And they don't care about tradition. They don't care about anything about that. And it's tough, man. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. I think they are gonna push it. Since it's on all the way up to Washington D.C., they can only make it happen. There's gonna be 24 teams, man, in the playoff. Basically, we just had a whole top 25. We'll be talking 25, but we're gonna cut off the 25th team and just make everybody else get in the playoff. They're trying to make it like NCAA basketball. Basketball and football is two different things, bro. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. But this is what it is. This is I'm always will. This is unbiased. I'm gone. I'm out. Salute.